Welcome
to
the
Suck
My
Fanfic
Podcast.
We
are
your
hosts,
Alex
and
Ryan.
I thought you were going to forget my name there for a
No.
second. The way you looked at my eyes.
No, that was just a look of longing and desire. No,
That was
hi.
that was my original idea. Was going to bounce to me. I was like, oh shit, what's your name again?
That's good. But hello, welcome. We are back for another exciting episode.
Stimulating. Whether it's titillating your brain or your funny bone,
We're here.
we're here.
We are here to stimulate you manually.
Mm-hmm.
Manually stimulate you. How you doing today, Ryan?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
Now that I know that I'm manually stimulating someone, that sounds like a very cold medical description.
Yeah, it's like in the 50s when they used to think that women were crazy, so they just mess them up down there with vibrators.
Your
Like
wife needs manual stimulation.
your wife need manual stimulation.
Oh my God, no!
Yeah. An orgasm for a woman? That's heresy. What sort of devil's inside of that woman?
They need manual stimulation to figure it out.
That's actually how they invented vibrators, no lie.
What's that?
That's literally the story in the 40s, 50s,
Here's
60s.
a story.
Here's a story. 40s, 50s, 60s, when they used to think women were crazy, they would just send them off to psychiatrists and just blast them up down there with... I'm serious.
Dude, how messed up are we?
Yeah, like...
How messed up is this culture?
Your wife's got the crazy. We have to give her orgasms.
That's not even that. Like my grandparents were around during that time. That is ridiculous.
That's when we were going to the moon.
Yep.
That's when people were criticizing
Diseases
the theory of evolution.
were being cured.
Yeah, oh my God.
There's just some parts of science that are so wildly underdeveloped.
so weird.
Until
Yeah.
recently. Yeah, if someone's having a blue day, we just jam a vibrator. You know what I mean? Good Lord.
Your wife wouldn't cook you dinner at 5? Stick this in. Okay, that's disgusting. I'm
gonna have to do some independent research on this, but that sounds hard to believe.
I hope you prove me wrong, but that's my understanding of the whole story there.
Great.
So, yuck. Well, today our insightful topic of conversation. I have two very quick pieces.
Oh, that wasn't it?
No, thankfully not. I have two quick pieces. I think we'd be having a good time talking about.
Let's do it.
So the first one is from Syfy Wire, SYFY Wire, Syfy Wire. Sci-fi, it's the
Sci-fi
show.
Wire, yeah,
Syfy.
sure.
The title is called Fanfiction Just Got Nominated for a Hugo Award
I saw
in this universe.
I saw that.
So for those of you who don't know what Hugos are, they're science fiction awards. I actually pulled up a list of past Hugo Award winners. Right off the top of my head, I know Frank Herbert. Dune was the first Hugo Award-winning novel.
I thought, what is Hugo? Is that for children's literature?
No, that's just sci-fi.
Science fiction.
They've expanded since the first year.
Okay.
So it used to just be novels, and now it's a lot. And that's how AO3 got nominated.
The entirety of the site got nominated, right?
Yeah.
That's
I was
crazy.
basically a publisher. But notable people such as Marjorie M. Louis, I don't know how to pronounce it, Liu. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at pronunciations. She is the writer, author of Monstrous, which is a really cool comic series published by Image.
Haven't heard.
I've read up to volume 3. I like them. The art's really interesting. It's a matriarchal steampunk magic society. It's very much its own thing.
No vibrator therapy happening in that universe.
No. And I think they were coached by Neil Gaiman, the writer and author, so he really, to my knowledge, he kind of helped them a little bit where they needed it.
He's out there.
N.K. Jemisin, she's a very prominent author, science fiction author.
Okay.
She's great. She has been nominated. I think she's won, actually. Like I said, I know that Neil Gaiman's won. And then they started doing basically a retro award. So things before the Hugos were a thing, they've started awarding them.
Sure.
So Isaac Asimov has been awarded a Hugo. Bill Finger, the true creator of Batman, the actual creator of Batman, who wasn't credited until about 3 or 4 years ago, Bill Finger, he won a Hugo posthumously.
Good for him.
And his, I believe his granddaughter is still alive.
Did she get? She gets it.
I believe so. She actually, there's a really good documentary on Hulu about this. And she and her family went to the BVS world premiere, and they were special guests. And that's the first time publicly in a movie that Bill Finger was acknowledged. Yeah, because normally it's Bob Kang. And It's a very similar story to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. A little different because
Jack Kirby still gets a lot of
Jack Kirby
credit,
does, yeah. I think Stan gets way more than he deserves. No offense, people who like Stan Lee,
R.I.P.
but R.I.P. But if you just look into it, Jack Kirby,
he's the one who's drawing and creating and doing all these things.
Creating the stories and everything.
I need a guy who looks like a spider.
And
like
Jack
a
Kirby's
spider.
Kirby goes, that sounds silly, ask Ditko. And that's actually what happened on that one.
Okay.
No, but for like the Galactus trilogy and the original Fantastic Four run.
Yeah, he's all that cosmic, trippy stuff.
Literally all Stan Lee said was,
this week, the Fantastic Four fights God.
And Jack Kirby creates this amazing story about Galactus and the Silver Surfer, who's the herald of God. But what they used to do at DC is, so Bob Kane obviously couldn't write one comic a week, and it was kind of hard to do one a month. So they'd have basically ghostwriters. Okay. And he went to his friend Bill, who had helped him on a lot of stuff, and he's like, Bill,
his name is Bill.
Bill Finger.
That sounds like a mafia name.
I know.
Hey, it's Billy Fingers.
It's Billy Finger.
Billy Fingers.
Billy Fingers. I think they're both from Brooklyn. So
that makes sense.
So Bill, he goes to Bill Finger and he goes, I have this great idea for Batman. Look at my design. And Bob Kane's original design for Batman was trash. he has a bat suit with the wings and he's red and he's like not wearing, I think he had a, what it was called, domino mask.
Oh, yeah.
And
like the Lone Ranger mask?
Yeah. And Bill Finger's like, hey, you're not an artist, and I am. Let me show you a better design. And he, by himself, designed Batman, purple gloves and all. So Bill Finger, deservedly so.
He got a Hugo Award.
Won a Hugo.
So AO3, Archive of Our Own, is now on the level of all these like really influential creators.
Yeah, so they basically, I can read it a little bit. Did you ever expect that Game of Thrones /fic you wrote at 3 a.m. when you really should have been studying for your Psych 101 final would ever get nominated?
Stop attacking me directly. Oh my god.
Would ever get nominated for the most prestigious literary award in the universe or alternate universe of sci-fi and fantasy? It actually happened. The Hugo Awards, which this year includes nominees like Doctor Who and Into the Spider-Verse, just announced that one 2019 contender in the Best Related Works category is the immense online fan fiction archive AO3.
So AO3 is going up against those two that they mentioned?
No. This is Best Related Works, I believe, is kind of like a publishing service, a catering service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure Doctor Who's best TV show, Spider-Verse is best movie.
Okay. It sounds like the Hugo Awards trying to get in with the youth.
Yeah. We're trying to say that we're cool.
Hey, man, Miles Morales is pretty dope.
He's pretty dope. He's a pretty dope new superhero.
Dope.
This isn't just some shady corner of the internet. It's a virtual library of hundreds of thousands of user-created fanfics. Whether a Potterhead wanted to see Snape get a second chance at Lily, or a die-hard anime fan thought it would be epic to merge the worlds of Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia. The category AO3 has been nominated in encompasses sci-fi or fantasy works or collections, so encyclopedias, biographies, and so on, that don't fit into categories such as best short story or best novel.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So like it's up with encyclopedias and collections.
Yeah,
so it's
like anthologies.
A huge collection. I guess it is just one big anthology.
So I just kind of wanted to bring this up because it almost validates AO3. It's
and this is for like what, this year?
Yeah, 2019. It's proving that AO3, these fan fiction sites, can be legitimate sources of stories.
I'm wondering why this year.
I know. Isn't that interesting? Well, like I said, they've also kind of
besides the wild popularity of this podcast, of course.
Yeah, exactly. We've kind of really brought the public into this. Yeah. But when you think about it, I mean, they're going back, they're doing retro things. It really sounds like they're starting to expand and acknowledge things in ways that they should be. For example,
trying to right some wrongs of the past.
Well, not only that, but typically awards like this can get a little elitist, a little prestigious. I don't remember what the name of the award is. It might be the Nebula, but I don't think it is. Neil Gaiman got nominated for his first Sandman
comic.
Shakespeare.
You're talking about how he was nominated for like an actual award, and then the year after he was nominated, they said no more comics are allowed.
He won the award.
Yeah.
He wasn't nominated for it. He won that award. And then the year after, they said, no, you're not. Comics can't ever win this award again. It was best short story for whatever that. I think it was a Nebula, but it probably wasn't. So, like, my point is they can get really elitist. They can get really crazy with the way that they view themselves. And it's very interesting to see the most prestigious science fiction fantasy award say, yeah, we acknowledge that this is a real thing. So the second piece of news that I wanted to bring up, I thought this was funny.
Congratulations to everyone who's written on AO3.
Yeah.
You'll get your medal mailed to you.
Yeah. You
very slowly, eventually.
Nominated for a Hugo.
After what, like 12,000, 13,000 people answered that census?
Yeah.
So it's going to take some time to get there, but it's coming.
So this is from Jezebel.com.
Okay.
And this is a review on Jezebel. And the title is, How Close Does the Harry Styles Fanfic Movie Come to Making You Horny? I'm really into it.
Harry Styles fanfic movie.
In 2013, a 25-year-old named Anna Todd self-published her work of serialized fan fiction on Wattpad. Mm-hmm. It blew up almost instantaneously and reached over 1 billion reads.
Wait.
Billion with the B.
Holy crap.
After became...
Dude, movies don't even get billions of views.
Yes. After became a success largely for its steamy scenes, which drew comparisons to 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, so how many of this billion views is the same guy over and over again?
He's
Just
like
I can't write Winds of Winter today. I have to read my favorite fan fiction.
It's not a fan fiction because she changed the names.
Because its male lead, Hardin Scott, was stylized after One Direction heartthrob, Harry Styles. Mm-hmm. Within a year, Gallery Books, an imprint of Simon & Schuster, published all 3 books in Todd's series. As my colleague, Kelly Faircloth, wrote in her review of the first novel, even though Scott is most dissimilar to Styles and behaves at best like a prick, at worst like an abusive boyfriend in the making, After generated enough interest to be optioned for a blockbuster release. The movie, starring British actor Hero Fiennes Tiffin, you may remember him as young Voldemort, Tom Riddle in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Hey, good for him.
And Josephine Langford as Tessa Young, the romantic protagonist who finds herself enamored with Scott's seemingly oafish charm. Came out on April 12th.
Oh, it already came out.
Yes.
How much money did it make?
I have no idea, honestly. But
a billion with a B?
I just wanted to read this first little part. I'm not going to read the whole review of it. But if you want to read it, it's on Jezebel, the Muse. I guess that's one of their smaller imprints or whatever. But it's a review of how close it got to making the writer of this horny and want to masturbate in the theater.
So it's effective.
She didn't need to see a psychiatrist in the 50s.
Yeah.
She had after.
Maybe that's our new therapy.
Yeah.
We never really moved past that as a society. We just started bringing out these smutty movies.
Just started letting them self-medicate, I guess.
Auto stimulation as opposed to manual stimulation.
But I thought that was interesting because this girl wrote a One Direction fanfic, changed the names.
What do you think her intentions were when she started out? Because if it's like...
I've heard about this before.
This sounds like pretty... You don't just like... Meh, 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 and then all of a sudden it becomes a huge franchise.
From what I know, she wrote the book, the original thing on Wattpad, whatever you want to call it, from the perspective of she loves Harry Styles and she wants this to happen. Or this is kind of how she played things out in her head. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of spiraled into this billion-read thing on Wattpad. That
she released it all in one go?
No, I think they said it was 3 books.
You think that changes, like once you like drop your fan fiction, like, hey guys, don't read, hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
And then you see it gets like 500,000 listens. You're like, okay, next one got a little more pressure, or do you think she just was like, whatever?
I think at that point, because it's not supposed to be a book originally, like it's not intended to be in print, it's just intended to be like this fun fanfic that you're writing. I think you can, if anything, I think you just feel more support and less pressure.
Sure.
And then when you get to this massive height afterwards, you kind of realize what you've done.
Billion?
That's a lot.
Is the order of magnitude on which we judge like Avengers movies,
Yeah.
Star Wars movies. Billion?
I mean, I don't think these are short either. Fairly certain these are long. They're long enough to be in a novel. It's a novel, and then it became a movie.
You said it was a series. Was it
I
a
guess,
series of novels? Or?
I have no idea. I'm very uninformed on this, but I thought this concept of someone writing something on Wattpad becoming this big budget franchise masturbatory movie in the same realm of 50 Shades, which 50 Shades itself is a fanfic.
I don't know what platform that started out on. I'd be interested to see if she was just writing it for her own auto
Maybe we'll dig
stimulation
and
or whatever.
we'll come back and give you guys some
We'll
more
get E.L.
info.
James on the cast.
Yeah.
She's been begging to come on.
She has. We're
been
like
busy. We got things we got to
get your
take care of.
herpes-infested books out of here, EL. But
yeah. Wow. So there you go. Wow. In
Yeah.
our own time, in real time of this podcast,
It's happening.
Fan fiction.
Yeah.
How long did it take? Do you know when the original Wattpads were posted?
2013, it said.
2013.
It's been 6 years.
It's a pretty quick turnaround.
That's a pretty quick
From just
turnaround.
typing in on your computer too.
And I guess she wrote it when she was in college, from what I heard.
She was a college age woman.
Yeah. College-educated woman.
most people
And I
on
think that kind of lends
803.
itself back to what we discussed last episode, where maybe when we say, Alex, you're dumb, the male doesn't mean they want to be represented by that. It's a representation in their interests. And this girl went out, wrote something she's interested in. Obviously, other people are very interested in it.
Sure.
Boom. So her interests are represented not by the corporate overlords, but by herself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then the corporate overlords paid her a lot of money and took it over.
And they changed everything.
They changed everything, yeah.
And they put Voldemort as
the main character.
Titular
Yes,
character.
as the titular Harry
Well, I guess
Styles.
he's not titled whatever the title.
His name is after.
Okay. I just like saying titular. I'm
Titular.
sorry. Yeah.
Titular. That's quite a titillating word. So for our big 20th episode spectacular spectacathon extravaganza, I said to myself, what's something that I can do that's very special for these listeners?
Spatial.
What's special, Ryan? What do you think would be special?
For the listeners?
Yeah. For us.
Well, would we write a fanfic and read it to them?
Or maybe one that I've already written.
We're reading the fan fiction that you wrote.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I do have a couple other ones that I didn't write that are up my sleeve. I have them sitting there. They are at the ready. And I was going to pull one out for this, for the big 2-0, but then I said, no, I want to hold off on those.
Okay.
I want to find a better moment. It didn't feel right to use those yet. You know what I mean?
Hold your steel. The moment is right.
Steel. Yes. So I am going to, instead, read the only piece of fan fiction I have ever written. Ryan, I have sent it to you before. I think I wrote it for you. Do you remember what the fan fiction is?
It is tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Isn't it Santa Claus flying over like the Middle East?
It is indeed.
Yeah, I don't remember the particulars, so I'm ready to hear it. I just remember the theme and the idea of it.
Okay, so it is a piece of slash. Now that I know this now, it's a piece of slash.
Yeah, give yourself some tags.
Yes, it's a piece of slash. Of course, I had to add a steamy sex scene. There had to be that in there. I was trying to parody fan fictions. I went through this before, and I edited some of the really offensive things out, because I was also really trying to be offensive.
There was a shock factor.
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
was supposed to be a shock fic. It was supposed to be a crack fic and smut. So I didn't want to be so offensive, so I edited some of it down because I didn't want to be that terrible. If you want to hear read the unedited version, beg me and maybe I'll send it to you.
Become a Patreon and we'll send it to you.
Become a patron. Yeah, if you're a patron, I will gladly send it to you.
Absolutely.
And you can gladly stop being a patron for us immediately because of how offensive it was.
Oh yeah, just like all the people who did the free HBO subscription,
Yeah.
and they watch Game of Thrones and just cancel it.
I've done that twice.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
So
do it to us.
yes, please do that to us. So I am going to read the only piece of fan fiction that I've ever written. It is called The Cold Winter's Night. Yes. I mean, what's bigger than Santa Claus?
Santa Claus is
Billions of people around the world
hot,
believe in Santa Claus. We have him depicted everywhere for at least 3 months at a time because we all know Christmas starts in October at this point. And so
it still ends the day after Christmas, though. Isn't that weird? They
it
move
is
right
weird.
on to the
Yeah.
next thing.
It's just like, oh,
No lingering.
Yeah, I got my presents. Bye.
Out of here.
Yeah,
Boxing Day. What's that? I'm out of here.
I have no idea what that is. Oh, Coptic Christmas? Yeah. No, I already got my presents.
I got that Xbox I wanted.
Yeah.
So peace.
Yeah, I don't care about the music anymore. I don't want a lot for Christmas.
That's like every year that comes out as like one of the top streamed songs, just because.
You know, she hit number 1 on the charts this past year for like the first time since like the early 2000s.
And it was because of that.
Because of that.
Why are we just so obsessed with that song?
I hate that song. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I only hate it because
I'm
it's
gonna
so
vent about
overplayed.
Christmas real quick. I know it's nowhere
Yeah.
near Christmas.
Well, this is a mid-Christmas. This is a big Christmas
This is a
present to all our
mid-Christmas
listeners.
crisis.
And there could be someone in the future listening to this near Christmas.
They may be
We have
snuggled
to
up
think
by the
about
fire.
that. Exactly.
Yeah, with their whole family listening.
Whole
to
family
Suck
listening
My
to
Fanfic.
Suck My Fanfic.
If this
and
is your Christmas Eve tradition, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas and welcome back.
I'm honored.
Yes.
I'm honored.
Thank you for having us in your home. So it's a cold winter's night. I'm gonna have a quick little hey. As we've mentioned before, my family is of a Jewish heritage.
Okay.
When reading this, it is not written to insult anybody. Like I said, it was a piece of crack fic, shock fic, and slash fic.
Making a lot of asterisks here.
I'm putting asterisks in front of this because
Squicks.
like I said, and a lot of, when I get to a particular character speaking with particular words, I grew up hearing these words. They're very normal to me. So if you find that I mention them offensive, I'm sorry that my upbringing is offensive to you. Is that appropriate to say?
I think art should stand on its own. So get after it.
Okay, so it's called The Cold Winter's Night. I'm going to try to read this as a proper fairy tale, the way it should be read.
Okay.
Once upon a time, Santa was flying his sleigh on Christmas. So I started the story with once upon a time. Every good story starts with once upon a time. Mm-hmm. It felt as if it were a regular trip around the globe in a single night, giving gifts to the good boys and girls all across the world and punishing the bad boys and girls with coal, which was certain to increase their carbon footprint. While flying across a desert that Santa knew was off limits to his magic, he felt an air of suspicion around the sleigh. The reindeer flew as hard and as fast as they could, but Santa still felt in danger. For a good reason. A man who some would describe as a Grinch that was dressed in a robe and wore a strange cloth on his head and spoke a language Santa couldn't understand, decided to interrupt Santa's Christmas flight. From his funny clothes, he pulled out a U.S. Army-issued rocket-propelled grenade and fired it up at the wooden sleigh. In fear, Santa looked down at this threat and thought, "Damn you, Cheney, for arming all these rebels. If you hadn't made the naughty list for shooting that man, you are certainly making it after this." There was a loud crash, and Santa's sleigh trudged on but couldn't make it, and eventually crash-landed near the sea with only one sole survivor. Can you guess who it was, Ryan?
It's the original Avenger, Rudolph.
It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So that's the first paragraph. Where are we sitting at? Where are we sitting, Ryan?
Where are we sitting right now?
What do you think?
It's dicey. It's dicey.
Dicey.
We're on choppy waters right now. Good start.
Okay.
I think it's a good start. I need to see where it's going.
Yeah.
More. We're gonna have our 5 criticisms. And our five compliments at the end.
I'll let you issue those.
Okay.
I won't issue those myself. I don't want to.
I'm gonna take some notes.
Okay, please do. I don't want to criticize or compliment myself.
Let me
That's
get my
inappropriate.
Wattpad out.
Get the Wattpad out.
And,
pull out the pen you broke, and let's
I'm
do
not
this.
gonna break this pen any further. I'll just run out the ink on it. Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
Let me push up my glasses.
Do it.
Okay. So Santa Claus gone. You're killing off your main character. You can't really. You're missing out on the opportunity to leverage that character's mythos by just.
So Santa's gone. There's a weight. There's a vacuum that has just like on the world. There's something that needs to be replaced. Some magical universal force of good and happiness and love that needs to be replaced.
I'm just gonna write Santa gone needs more development. Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
From the wreckage, Rudolph slowly crawled her way out. A nice mensch that lived a little way away saw the smoke and heard the crash. Do you know what a mensch is?
It's a good upstanding fellow, right?
A person of integrity and honor.
Yep.
A nice mensch.
Also, do you say whilst in this?
I don't, or incredulously.
I'm going to start docking points
Fuck.
here.
I'm just going to add it in somewhere.
Okay.
A nice mensch that lived a little way away saw the smoke and heard the crash. Though he wasn't surprised at this occurring, since this was quite a regular event where he lived, he decided that he would go and investigate. The mensch walked slowly to the crash and approached many dead reindeer, but through the smoke he saw a faint, blinking red light and ran to it. He helped Rudolph to her feet and ushered her to his home, all whilst Rudolph protested profusely. I added it in there. I had to. Whilst. No! How are all the good boys and girls of the world going to get all their presents? And how will all the bad boys and girls of the world get their coal? The mensch felt sorry for Rudolph, but stayed silent, all while cleaning her up. This was quite an uncharacteristic thing for the mensch to do. Stay silent. Finally, he said, "Oy vey, what chutzpah you speak of? Many boys and girls don't get presents every year, and they're fine." Rudolph cried and cried and cried, and she said, "But mister, don't you understand? You found me. You have the responsibility to save Christmas. We can do it together." The mensch questioned whether or not what Rudolph was saying was some sort of shtick, but eventually decided to help. "Oi, I'm not one to be much of a yenta, but I'll help you. What is your name, little girl?" "Well, don't you know who I am? I'm Rudolph. Don't you see my nose so bright?" The mensch stared at Rudolph and said, "I thought you just had a cold. I was going to offer you some matzo ball soup before we left. Well, I'm Chaim. Let's move quickly. Don't schlep around here." With that, Rudolph and Chaim were off. So that's the end of the second paragraph. How are you feeling?
I think you got to explore some more of this trauma that Rudolph is feeling. Since Santa is gone, I like that, it's just, I'm so focused on the mission. I'm so focused on the mission. We got to save Christmas. I hope that later there's that kind of, you have to accept that Santa Claus is gone, and Chaim is not going to be your stand-in surrogate.
No, Chaim can't be.
Also, I always thought Rudolph was a boy. Rudolph is a girl. Is it a gender bender kind of thing? Okay.
It is.
Well, look at you.
Look at that. See? I'm kind of getting into it. Mm-hmm. It's either that, or if you want to just believe Rudolph's a boy, and then it's gay smut in the...
You've already gendered Rudolph.
I have, but hey. Mm-hmm. As they were making their way to the nice boys and girls of the world, Rudolph asked just what exactly Chaim would give them as a reward. He reached underneath his shirt and pulled out a sack filled with gold coins, then looked at Rudolph and said, "Don't be a klutz, my dear. You're not the only one with magic." With that, Chaim rode around to each house of every nice boy and girl and gave them one little coin from his stash of gold, which probably benefited the children more since gold was going for $1,200 an ounce at the time. For each naughty boy and girl of the world, he would leave gefilte fish and a little challah bread, which was better for the environment. At every house, he would eat the cookies, as long as they were kosher, and although they weren't black and white cookies, he enjoyed them very much. He didn't drink the milk because he knew it might upset his stomach. At the end of the night, they returned to the Mensch's house far away. Rudolph was extremely tired, and Chaim offered for her to stay the night. She accepted his invitation and insisted on sleeping in his bed with him. Third paragraph done. What are we thinking?
Pretty good. Environmentally responsible, I would say the story is.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Environmentally responsible. He's very conscious of his tummy. He's going to be riding around all day. He doesn't want, he doesn't have the farts on Rudolph.
Right, exactly. That's rude.
Yeah, it is rude. It is rude. It's very rude. I'm trying to be a little considerate, a little realistic with this. The gold's a much better.
How was the spelling and grammar?
Perfect.
This? Well, that's going to dock you points for that one. That's not good if you're trying to write a fan fiction. Okay.
Now, guys, here's another South Park reference. Did you get that he had the sack of gold around his neck? That's a South Park reference.
What is that a reference to?
In the water park episode where there's... Oh, no, is it the water park one? It's either that one or the global warming one. Mm-hmm. Where they're trying... No, it's the global warming one. They're in the warehouse that's flooding, and Kyle wants to be saved, and Cartman won't let him through until he gives him the Jew gold around his neck.
Oh, okay.
So it's a South Park reference.
Okay.
Yes. If that was for some reason particularly offensive to you, understand I was referencing South Park.
Then become a patron, and we'll change our ways. Now we have to just extort people.
Give me money, and I'll stop being offensive. The Mensch was... Oh, fuck. I just read ahead a little bit, and I'm not prepared for this.
Okay. You wrote this.
I know I did.
What's the author's name? What's the author's name?
Alex.
No screen name. Just put it out there.
Author's name, Duh Kitty's Titties, 6969420XX.
All right. You're going to have to make that account and post this on AO3.
On AO3.
After this, yeah.
I'll do it. The Mensch was already in his bed when Rudolph came to sleep. She got under the covers, and the Mensch felt that she was not wearing any clothes.
Does she ever wear clothes?
He turned to her and said, "Oi, Rudolph, aren't you afraid of catching a chill?" Rudolph put her hoof over the Mensch's lips and said, "You rode me all night to every boy and girl's house, but now it's my turn to ride you."
Yep, had to be.
The Mensch was quite surprised at this, but did not want to protest. He had felt a strange attraction to Rudolph, and though he knew his mother and Bube would be very upset that Rudolph wasn't a nice Jewish girl, Chaim knew he wanted Rudolph to go on. A Bube is a grandmother, a Jewish grandmother. Mm-hmm. Rudolph pulled off Chaim's nightgown and was surprised at what she saw. It was so smooth and was not covered by skin like most of the ones she had ever seen. She began to give him head in the same manner in which reindeer and other deer and equestrian-type animals would eat a carrot, but with no teeth, of course.
Okay.
She climbed on top of Chaim and She climbed on top of Chaim and began to ride him. First quickly, but then very slowly. Finally, they looked each other in the eyes. The Mensch told her that he loved her, and he meant it. Rudolph said it back, and meant it as well. Next, they finished together, and it was the greatest feeling the Mensch had ever felt. It was pure ecstasy and pure bliss, and while Rudolph neighed at the top of her lungs incredulously, her nose shone the brightest it had ever shone. It could be seen all the way from Tel Aviv to the West Bank and beyond. Mm-hmm. They finished and laid beside each other, hand in hoof, until they fell asleep. How was that? How was the big sex scene?
I mean, as far as sex scenes go, not that bad.
No, not that bad.
I do want to note that you hit on a very common trope that they finish at the same time.
Yes, I did.
So you even
I'm
if
guilty of it.
If you weren't aware that you were doing it, you still did it.
I'm guilty of it. It happened.
There are these universal beats
that
connect all fan fiction.
This is one of them.
Subconscious level.
I'm putting it in the web of fanfics and weaving this tapestry, connecting it to all these other fanfictions.
It's just interesting that in a vacuum, you still felt compelled to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a greater universal truth that that we witness when we write fanfiction.
Yeah. When we write it and read it. Yeah.
Or maybe we're all just affected by the same culture of unrealistic expectations.
That could be it.
That could be it too.
If you want to get even further into this, what sort of expectations, are we creating these expectations? Are they a human need? Are they a human desire? Or are they something that's ingrained in us from corporations, from years of conditioning by our culture? I don't know. I don't know.
And who are we to force that upon interspecial reindeer relationships?
Exactly. I don't know. These are questions that might need to be explored further. The next morning, the mensch woke up and found nothing but a note, which read, Chaim, thank you for making me feel like the only reindeer in the world. Though, at that point, she was, since all the rest had been involved in the crash.
She technically was, yeah.
I will never forget how you saved Christmas and loved me unconditionally. I had to leave to help rebuild the North Pole and find a new Santa. And it was easier to tell you this way over a note. I'd have asked you to be the new Santa, but your beard is much too curly at the corners for the children to believe you are Santa Claus. Please take care of yourself. Love, Rudolph. The mensch cried. He sat there and thought about their trip around the world and how he and Rudolph had known each other biblically. In this case, I believe it's more in the Old Testament sense, so I guess it was Torally. Though he felt much grief about Rudolph leaving, he knew that they would always have that cold winter's night. The end. So it was quick. It's a quick fic.
It is quick, yeah.
It's a quick crack slash
It's almost a
shock.
It's a little over a drabble.
It's a little over a drabble.
Okay.
What'd you think?
Actually, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Really?
Pretty good.
Okay.
I like it. I like how Rudolph then eventually returns to the
Rudolph
need,
had
has
her
a
duties.
higher calling.
Rudolph had her duties. Her magic, it needs to be powered some way, and that's the belief and love of little boys and girls all across the world that Santa Claus will be coming down the chimney December 25th.
And I don't know if you're trying to keep it in a short form, but I definitely think that is staying in true with the character. Need a little more development between Chaim and Rudolph. Just like a little taste that even before they go on this adventure, it's like, oh, Rudolph's eyes shone with like, this is a stand-up
good man. I can tell. Yeah, he's a stand-up man.
And then you don't have to describe throughout their journeys. You assume that those feelings start to grow.
Yeah, they start to grow. They blossom. They experience things together.
Right.
And with the supersonic, almost light speed travel that they have to the speeds they have to reach to get to each house. What may only feel like 8 hours for
could be a lifetime.
Could be a lifetime that they're experiencing.
I think if you weave something in like that, it makes it. But you also give the relationship a lot more development than others. Where it's like Snake from Metal Gear Solid sat down at the bar and saw Princess Celestia downing shots of tequila.
Yeah. And then he stuck his dick in her hose.
He climbed into his cardboard box and made his way over to the horse. I definitely like the reminder when she's giving head that she's a reindeer.
And she's equestrian.
And the hoof. The
hand and hoof.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
That's all good. My criticism, just not enough adjectives.
Not enough? Wow, okay.
You need like 3 or 4 adjectives before every noun.
I'm much more of a Hemingway than a Lovecraft. I think I can say that just as my writing in general.
But if I'm criticizing this as a fan fiction...
I got you. I understand.
As a fan fiction, it needs a lot more adjectives. And tons of adverbs.
Yes. I was able to slip in whilst and incredulously.
Yeah, I appreciated that.
You're welcome.
So you're already growing.
Yeah, I'm growing. I'm learning more about this whole medium. Okay, what else we got?
As a plus, I really like the symmetry of one riding the other.
Yeah.
My turn to ride. Like, that's just a joke, but like also it's a really,
It's very beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yes, there's a nice bit of romantic symmetry there.
It is.
It really kind of ties everything together.
Absolutely. So that was not lost on me.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Pretty good.
It was pretty good. I don't know what fandom. You should just, you know how people write a fan fiction and then they change the names and they sell it, make a movie or whatever.
Yeah.
You need to take this. You need to change. Maybe Rudolph crash lands near like a famous character from a TV show. And then you can put that right in there, and I'm sure people would eat it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for those of you who like Saturday Night Live, I think I could say I was very heavily inspired by Hanukkah Harry. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's John Lovitz. He's friends with Santa, and Santa eats some bad cookies and drinks some bad milk, and Hanukkah Harry has to take over giving the presents out. And
Is this the first Hanukkah Harry fan fiction ever written?
I think I can very, very safely say this is a first alternate universe Hanukkah Harry. Hanukkah Chaim. Hanukkah Chaim. Yeah. So that was the only fan fiction I have ever written. The Cold Winter's Night, a Santa Claus Christmas fanfic.
It's pretty good.
And you know what? I think a Jewish fanfic. I'm a fan of the Jews.
It's an interfaith fanfic.
It's an interfaith bringing people together fanfic. And I had to take the few shots at Dick Cheney. That had to happen.
Yeah, those were good.
Those were
really
good. Did you like if you hadn't already shot that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're definitely on the
he's
good.
definitely on the naughty list.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, maybe explore the loss and the repercussions of a Santa Claus, of a world that wakes up and their traditions have changed now.
Yeah.
They're getting, what did you say?
Bold.
And with the bad boys and girls are getting...
Gefilte fish and challah.
And challah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more environmentally friendly. No one's really a big fan of gefilte fish.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not, at least. And I mean, I think one thing you show is that Hanukkah Chaim, he's a very caring man. I mean, he's going to offer Rudolph soup. He's going to give her matzo ball to help her cold, which is just a staple.
And he's in a region that's not very friendly because obviously
Santa's
look
at that.
Sniped with an
RPG. I mentioned that he was used to planes crashing, these big explosions.
That was good.
And Chaim's first impulse is, I need to go and make sure that there are people who are okay. Can I help? And he found this lone reindeer.
Yeah, maybe if
grudging her way through the sand.
Maybe if when they're like taking their clothes and whatever, Rudolph's wearing like a harness or something off, she sees scars on him. And she wonders,
my God!
What is that here? What's happening here?
What is happening here?
What happened to you?
And the jingles of the bells as they take off her harness is nothing compared to wow.
I'm not here to write your fan fiction.
We could rewrite
this. I'm just giving you some ideas.
It could be reworked. It could be workshopped. I get you.
Yeah, we're workshopping.
I like
right
this.
Now. But
I like this.
I liked it. I remember reading it at the time. Thought it was funny.
Well, thank you.
But now, after going through so much fan fiction, I'm like, hey, this actually takes place among some of the more quality stuff.
Wow, thank you. So I got to put on AO3 kitties titties 6969420XX. Duh kitties titties.
Duh
DA.
Kitties IEZ.
Yes.
TITTIEZ.
Yes, of course.
69420.
420. Two 69s.
Because the 169 is already taken.
Yeah.
Yep.
And did you put XX?
At the end?
Yeah, little x, big X.
Little x. Or just that?
Little x, big X.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I think that's our official account on Archive of Our Own.
Duh kitties titties. 6969.
So if you ever are reading a really, really interesting fan fiction about Hanukkah Chaim, and you read that that's the author, it's actually us. Know that it's us. Look out the window.
We've workshopped it.
Shooting star. That's us winking at you from beyond.
Yeah. That's perfect. This Christmas, go to your closest
We just did a Christmas Hanukkah episode.
We did.
Yeah, Christmas Hanukkah special.
Nice interfaith special.
Huh.
Yeah, go grab yourself a mensch on a bench and an elf on a shelf. Mensch on a bench is real, by the way.
Oh my God.
I'm not lying to you. That is real.
I've never heard of that. Yeah.
It's real. Mensch on a bench.
I'm sure it is.
It comes with their own storybook about the mensch and everything. Yeah, so there you go. Thank you for listening to my fan fiction. I hope you enjoyed it. The last time that I picked a fanfic was an hour and a half of Scrubs bulimia fanfic, so I think it's good that I picked a very lighthearted, funny, introspective fanfic this time.
You know, I'm sorry, I have one more criticism for you.
Oh, yeah.
The first, 2 paragraphs are not you explaining that you wrote it, what it's about. You know, every fanfiction thing is
LMAO wrote this,
or
don't read.
Yeah, or like, hey guys, this is what's happening right now. I haven't updated in a while, blah, 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 blah. That's another huge criticism I have of this piece.
Sorry, I haven't written this in 8 days. It was Hanukkah. I was busy. Yeah.
I haven't updated in 8 years.
Yeah, in 8 years, I lost my phone, but I'm back. So
lost my phone. Lost my phone at a water park.
Yeah, lost my phone,
but I got it.
but I'm back.
Went to Wet and Wild. Put it near my sandals. And I couldn't find
R.I.P.
it.
Wet and Wild.
Yeah,
it's not there anymore.
I know.
Only Orlando kids remember.
Yeah.
Wet and Wild
R.I.P.
was
everyone.
fun.
Yeah.
That was a great place.
R.I.P. everyone getting the same disease
Who
and
cares?
then coming to school on the next day from all that shared water.
Fuck you, Universal, for destroying my childhood.
Well, some kids not going to have Volcano Bay, and that's going to be their childhood.
Honestly, Volcano Bay is one of the most annoying things because when you're driving down I-4, especially when it opened,
We'll save it for
cars
our
would stop and start taking pictures
of the volcano. We'll save it for our Volcano Bay podcast where we criticize and review each ride.
At Volcano Bay. Yeah,
I review all the drinks. Alex reviews all the rides.
it's going to be a while till we get to do that because Volcano Bay is 500 miles away from us at the moment.
Got a lot of material for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of life experience to explore there. Thank you for listening, though. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the cold winter's night. I hope perhaps my authority on fan fiction is now just disruptive, just shattered because you've heard my fan fiction and you're like, wow, this guy really doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, show him up. Write your own fan
write
fiction.
your own fan
Send
fic.
it in. And
It's
destroy it.
the same story, though.
Yeah, I'd like to see
Yeah.
everyone else's take. I'd like
Yeah.
to see you one up Alex on this.
Or our dream has been since the first episode, fanfic about Ryan and I.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, send it in. We'll read it.
I'll read
Put
it.
in the chat. Put that shit in the chat. We'll read it. What are you stoked on this week, Ryan?
This week,
Or this episode, I should
this
say.
episode, I'm pretty stoked on. You're not going to like this, but when I go to work, if I have a rough day at work, the song that I now play as I pull out of the parking lot is and you know this, Old Town Road remix.
Oh, fuck you.
By Lil Nas.
Fuck you.
And Billy Ray.
Fuck you.
But I told you about
No.
this. I told you about how Billy Ray came in and
No.
lended legitimacy to
No.
the song because people said,
No.
"Oh, it's not country."
It wasn't country. And
It is
still
country.
isn't.
What's not country about it?
The sound, first off.
He's singing the same thing about it, the same,
No.
cheating on buddy.
No. I did not say the lyrics. I said that. I'll get to the lyrics. I said the sound.
So if something has drum and bass, it can't be country?
No, that's not exactly what I'm saying.
Then what is Florida Georgia Line? Not country?
Florida Georgia Line's pop?
Why is it on every country radio? Why is it on country charts?
Because country listeners are stupid.
Then why can't this song be country?
Because it's not a country song.
But I'm just saying, why is it not treated the same way as Florida Georgia Line? If you don't think Florida Georgia Line is country, that's fine. But it's still treated as country.
I'm sure it is, but I'm not here to explain the music industry or explain country music on the whole. And I like country music, so
I hate country music.
I know.
I like this song.
That doesn't immediately make you think maybe this isn't country music.
No,
this is what I think.
I think it's a new exploration of the country genre.
I don't think so. I think very obviously this song, the lyrics, though they may on the surface appear to be country, very obviously aren't.
Okay, in what way?
First off, there's no such thing as a Gucci cowboy hat.
Sure there is.
No, there's not.
Sure there is.
No, there isn't.
You don't think Gucci makes cowboy hats?
They don't.
Look it up.
Do you really want me to look this up
It's
right
not
now?
for cowboys.
Live?
It's not for cowboys. They probably make it for people on the red carpet or something.
They make hats that are flat brimmed, but they're not cowboy hats.
Okay, there you go. Maybe he bent it up for something.
No. He even, if you watch The Genius, he even says he knows there's no such thing, but hopefully there will be now because of this song.
Okay, hopefully
so there probably will be in
That'd
3
that's
months,
cool.
I'm
That's
sure.
cool. I hope they do.
So there's no such thing as a Gucci cowboy hat.
Okay. Why are you so
lyrically
defensive about
speaking,
this? Why are you so defensive
because
about this?
it's not a country song and it's not a good song to begin with.
It's a banger. I
It's
love
trash.
it.
It's
I love
cabbage.
it. It's bang.
It's
banging.
cabbage.
What's a banger to you right now? What music are you stoked on right now?
What music am I stoked on right now?
Yeah.
Are we talking about new music?
Yeah.
I love McConan, Lil Peep.
Sure.
I've been waiting.
Lil Peep?
I love McConan, Lil Peep.
There's no
I've
more,
been waiting.
there's
Have you
no-
not heard that song?
Oh, I thought you meant you're stoked on Lil Peep. I'm like, he's not making any new
What
music.
the fuck is wrong with you? That song is great.
I just said Lil Peep's not making any. So
he is. They're just taking old recordings.
like Michael
Eagle
Jackson.
Birds by the Black Keys. Have you heard that song?
Okay.
That's an absolute banger.
It's okay.
That's no. It's not just okay.
We'll listen to
the
it
other
after this.
single they released,
Listen to it
Low
after
High,
this.
is okay. It's a very generic, regular Black Keys song.
Okay.
I love the Black Keys. Low High, there's nothing special about it.
Okay.
Eagle Birds is a fucking banger.
We'll listen to it after
So
this.
I'm stoked on that, but it's
Okay.
not a rap song. It's not a country song. It's an alternative rock song.
Okay.
I can genre these appropriately.
Sure.
Okay.
So Old Town Road rap.
I would say Old Town Road is a rap song with a country music theme.
Okay.
Or a country theme.
That sounds fair.
Can we not make that distinction?
Yeah,
if
sure.
something is rap with a country theme,
Sure.
can it just be on the rap charts? Why does it have to be on the country charts?
I don't know. Okay. Why? Well, I'm just saying, if something's country rap, why is one on the country charts and one's on the rap charts?
There's plenty of crap, which is country rap, that is on the country charts because it's a country, it's a country sound. To me, I think the biggest thing is I think he's using country music language to describe something that isn't country music, and I think that's the biggest difference. I think that's what doesn't make it country. If you're talking lyrically,
okay.
He's sipping lean on a tractor.
He's on a tractor, though.
But the thing
is, he's still doing agriculture. He's engaging in agricultural activities.
These tropes, these themes from rap music. If he said,
and he's combining them.
If he said no, I don't think he's combining them. If he said, I think if anything, he's parodying them. If he did an entire album of country rap,
he does not. This is just one song on the album.
If he did an entire album of country rap, I think your claim that this song is a country rap song would be a lot more legitimate. But to make one singular song, I don't think it is.
This is a rap country song, not a country rap song.
I think
rap gets top billing in this case.
I think so.
Okay.
Because it's like if with the Florida Georgia Line Baby Rexha song, that song's not country.
Right.
And plenty of people were upset that it was on the pop charts because it sounded like a country song. But it's not a country song. Right. There's nothing country about that song. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Just the wailing of Florida Georgia.
That's pretty country, yeah.
So the style of the singing makes it country? Is that the argument?
Yeah, you're saying
then until you add Billy Ray Cyrus, that's Old Town Road definitely isn't country.
Which is why he kind of hopped in and made it more definitive. That's why I appreciate that remix version.
I don't think it's country.
Okay,
that's okay, and I don't even care
because
about
of the sound or because of the content.
Both.
Okay, because neither of them are country to you.
I don't believe so. And the thing is, if you listen to the banjo in the background, that's sampled from a metal song.
Didn't know that.
That's not sampled from a country song.
I haven't dived deep and done that. I know when I'm stressed at work and I get off.
No, that's fine.
Crank it up. Hey, Old Town Road gets me home. I love
trash music every now and then. Like
Black Keys.
The Black Keys are not trash.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to set you up. What are you stoked on?
You're not going to set me off because I know the Black Keys are great. If you listen to the Black Keys live, Dan Auerbach's voice is angelic.
I'm sure it is.
He's amazing.
I'm sure he's amazing. Go ahead. What are you stoked on?
What am I stoked on? I'm stoked on not listening to Old Town Road. No. What am I stoked on at the moment? I'm actually learning how to play the banjo. Okay. So I'm pretty stoked on that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is not the first instrument I've learned, so it's interesting to learn this one, and it's very, I guess, more technical than other stringed instruments, at least the mainstream ones, because it's very pick heavy. You don't strum. I mean, you don't strum with the banjo. You pick, and so they're different. They're called rolls, which are pick patterns. So learning the rolls, I don't even know chords yet because I'm just learning rolls. I'm learning techniques. So
when you go to the Bluegrass Festival, that's all you need to know.
Exactly.
To get around.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll sound somewhat, and you have to have the big jug for the.
Yeah, I'll be the jug guy. I can't play the banjo, but I'll
be the jug guy and the spoons guy.
Jug washboard. I can do that.
And the spoons. Yeah. So
this is actually sounding like a lot. You might have to compensate me.
I'm putting a lot on you on this part.
Yeah.
But I like the banjo. Banjo's cool. I've always liked that sound. Speaking of the Black Keys, they have a song called Psychotic Girl. Starts off with the banjo.
Okay.
Killer.
There you
love
go.
it. So I like the sound of the banjo. I love bluegrass music. I think bluegrass is... I think if you are ignorant to bluegrass, you're going to hate it. And there's a certain soul about bluegrass music I don't think you find in other genres.
Yeah, I got you.
So I like that I'm trying to force my way into that I can be a part of that conversation of bluegrass.
Stoked on bluegrass.
Stoked on learning the banjo and just kind of having fun with it while I can. Yeah, it's a 5-string banjo too, which is pretty neat, pretty cool.
Is that not unique? Is that not normal?
It's standard, but a lot of people have 4s.
No, okay.
5 strings kind of like an extra
string.
And then there's exactly. And then there's a 6-string banjo, which is basically just like a guitar.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. There's also, I want it, so I have to find it. I know they're expensive. At least last I looked, they were. A yucca banjo.
Oh, my God.
It's a ukulele,
that you can play on
head.
Instagram, and you can play somewhere over the rainbow on that.
I can play
the yucca banjo.
Yeah, on the yucca banjo. Absolutely. They're cool. They're cool.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
they are cool.
It's the banjo head on a ukulele-sized instrument with 4 strings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you could wear a smaller little corn hat.
Oh, it'd be awesome! And I can have the Christmas lights behind me, and we'll do exclusively 21 Pilots covers.
And the bow tie's small. Everything is bluegrass, just shrunk down. You just
not wearing a shirt, but I am wearing suspenders or overalls, whatever you want. Yeah,
absolutely.
Pick your poison on that one.
Yeah. Were you in a Coen Brothers movie?
What the fuck? Exactly. Where's George Clooney? That's what I'm stoked on. I'm stoked on learning the banjo.
Okay.
I think the Stoked On segment's gone on way too long.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty divisive.
This is what you get for bringing up Old Town Road.
I'll listen to it on the way home.
Yeah. I'm also stoked. We're also not recording this on the day it's released, obviously, but May 17th is the day that John Wick 3 comes out.
Oh,
Antebellum.
Nice.
I'm excited for that.
Wow.
Ryan and I saw John Wick 2 in the theaters, so we have to go see this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited. That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, John Wick's great. The comic books are trash, but the movies are great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got to check that out.
If you're going to see John Wick this weekend, count every time there's a shot and the mag. And since the second movie, they've been pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty much dead on.
It's pretty much dead on. If you know, I have a friend that I'm pretty sure touches himself to guns. And I saw the second one with him, and I heard him 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's a so and so gun. It only holds this many. That was accurate." And I'm like, "Wow, this movie just got a lot better."
I am as far from that person as you could possibly get, but I still appreciate the movies.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're awesome.
They are
I'm
awesome.
I'm psyched on that. Very stoked on that. John Wick's awesome. John Wick's is just a banger of a franchise.
I know, it's amazing.
It's so good.
We should read some John Wick fan fiction sometime.
Oh fuck!
I bet it's garbage.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find the good ones.
Well, there's not much of a character there that you can explore with him speaking, so it has to be a very introspective fanfic if it's a good one.
Or it can just be about like the world around him, and he's like,
which is also awesome.
Force that moves.
Yeah. I found the Continental Hotel building in New York when I was walking around one day. It's in the Lower Manhattan. Almost nutted myself. I was so happy. I was like, oh my god.
Who's Lawrence Reddick? Whatever. Who's the actor who plays the guy at the concierge?
Oh, I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, was he there?
No, it's called the Cocoa Exchange Building. It used to be where they'd trade cocoa.
Was that
the cocoa powder?
That was big enough to warrant its own building?
Yeah, cocoa powder used to be very, very valuable.
Yeah, okay.
Very expensive.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So there we go. That was episode 20 of Suck My Fanfic. The last 15 minutes was nothing to do with fanfic, but here we are. We're stoked. We're stoked on that. Ryan, I think, has just done about 30 dabs, so that's amazing. I'll do one big dab. Just hang on. I dabbed. Dab. I amongst my friends, I am called the Dab Daddy. So
Dab Daddy.
Dab Daddy.
Will work. Absolutely.
Dab Daddy just dabbed on all of you, and I think it is probably now time to finish this up. So I hope you enjoyed my first and only fanfic. If you liked it, put it in the chat. If you disliked it, go find us on AO3 and comment it violently why you hated us.
Just filled with vitriol.
I need all of the hate of the internet on my back, please. We have a YouTube channel. I don't know if the next episode's up of the Let's Play. Ryan's being very ambiguous about this.
Coy. I don't know.
Oh,
depends. Maybe next decade.
Maybe next decade. We'll see. Please, if you like this, if you dislike this, just shut it off right now. Don't listen to what I'm about to say. If you like this, please leave us a review. Consider leaving us a review. We appreciate that. The best way to plug ourselves into the algorithm and start getting, suggestions on charts and stuff is for reviews, and we'd really like that. We put a lot of time into this, and if you guys like it, we'd really appreciate you guys just kind of putting in, the 2 minutes to just tell us how you feel.
I've already made enough burner accounts and reviewed our own podcast that
we're really running thin on how many we can do.
Absolutely. I've been contacted by Google. I think I'm running some sort of illegal ring of some sort. Yeah.
We also have a Patreon. If you really like us and you've already left us a review, actually, you don't have to leave us a review to be on the Patreon. I'd rather take the money than the review.
And if you hate us so much you want us to stop, just give us money.
Give us money. Yeah. But we have a Patreon. It has a bunch of different tiers. Go on there and look at that. Suck My Fanfic. We have a Facebook, a Twitter, a Tumblr, and a YouTube. And I'm not even going to bother to say what we stream on because you're listening to us.
Yeah, whatever you're listening to. That's your
stream.
favorite one, wherever you're listening right now.
Exactly. So thank you once again for joining us, dear listener. We really do appreciate you, and we love welcoming you into my tiny studio apartment in Manhattan every week. Ryan, what should we remember this week?
Despite our many differences and despite whatever Dick Cheney may have done, I think we can all stand...
Like making money off the Iraq War.
Making money off the Iraq War, being portrayed by Christian Bale. I think we can all stand hand and hoof as one and wish you a Merry Hanukkah Christmas, Ka.